Nathan, many congratulations. Just talk us through how you're feeling after that win.
Relieved. It was a game that panned out like I didn't envision it last night when I went to bed. If I'm dead honest with you, but I've got to say full credit to Lourence there. He played a fantastic game. He put me under pressure, and I really felt the pressure. My face was like a tomato. I was shaking the whole way through, but at the end of the game, I managed to find something. I don't know where the hell I pulled that from, but I pulled it from, and I forgot about that game already. I'm just focused on that 170 under the most immense pressure to win a game of darts. That's what I'm going to take away from that match, not the rest of it.
It was almost a trademark Nathan Aspinall performance with you battling through that, and to cap it for the 170, that must be a good feeling.
Yeah, I'd love to agree with you and say what an amazing feeling, but God, it just wasn't how I planned it. I've been playing so well. I've done a lot of exhibition work coming into the tournament, a lot more than I normally do. There's a reason for that, and I've been unbelievable. My 180s, my confidence was there, and I walked on that stage, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not afraid to admit, I bricked it. Honestly, I've been on that stage 20 times in my career. I put myself under so much pressure tonight, and why, I don't know. Over time when I evaluate it, I'll probably work out why I did feel like that. But I got the win, and that's the most important thing.
It's interesting you say that, because you've had a really good record on the stage this year. You made the runner-up for the Players' Championship finals, it's 3 Euro Tour titles as well. Do you think your game's at a good place at this time of the year?
It's the best place it's ever been. I've never played better. The confidence has never been higher. My head has never been better. This is the first time since I can remember I've turned up to this tournament without an injury, without diabetes, without any issues with my head. I'm just Nathan Aspinall, a dart player, and that's why I know I'm still going to have a good run. That was the first hurdle, and yes, it was good. It was a battle, it was tough, but I feel fantastic. It's easy to say it now because I won, but maybe I needed that, first game. Maybe I needed that challenge and that fight and that grit, determination to realise why I'm doing this. And that was a big win for me, and I really enjoyed it at the end. But yeah, we'll forget about that game now and we'll move on to Monday.
And moving on, you've got Renegade in the next round, who you faced at this stage of the competition last year as well. You won that game, and are you hoping history repeats itself this time around as well?
I'm not hoping, I know it will. Simple as that. I know I'll beat Leonard. He's a great player. He played well to actually watch that game today while I was in my hotel room, and yeah, he's a great player, but it's a game that I'm not going to feel that nervous again. Everyone says the first round's the toughest. It is. I've got through that game. Monday will be a different animal, and I'll come through that game.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Nathan, congratulations. You said about wanting it too much and having to wait until the last session of the first round. Is that tough, watching everyone else play and you just wanting to get up there?
Not watching everyone else, because as you know, I don't watch darts. I've watched 2 games all tournament, but sat at home counting the days down before I get that train up to London, it just felt like a lifetime. I was sat at home like, God, it's been on for 4 days. I might go down for another 4 days, and you just counting the days down. It's like the kids to Christmas, with the advent calendar. I should maybe next year I should do an advent calendar with like days to before I play at Ali Pali, but I'm always on late in the tournament. I know that, but yeah, it's been tough. Obviously with the extra few games and extra few days, it's been tough. But yeah, I was so excited to come down last night. I was on the train, got the train down, and I was buzzing. I watched the darts on the train coming down, trying to get me, because I've been quite flat because I've not felt part of the tournament because I've waited so long. So I watched 2 games yesterday on the train on the way down, and the butterflies were going. I walked in here, felt great. Got my dad with me, my brothers and my sponsors, and walked on that stage and arse fell out. But I got through the game and I won, and that's the most important thing.
When you watch it back and reflect, us watching you, did you struggle with Laurence's game, the way he plays? Because you were like a caged animal behind him. We saw all kinds of expressions, facial expressions. Did you struggle with that?
I know what Lourence does on the stage, and before the game I bigged it up. I enjoyed the interaction with the crowd, I enjoyed the celebrations. It wasn't that, and it wasn't his slow play. I'm not going to sit here and start saying stuff about players because people jump on it, and I can't be arsed with that. But he was an absolute nightmare. From dart one, he was an absolute nightmare. But he's going on out to the Philippines, and I'm staying in El Pali.
Love that. Look, just your season, it's been brilliant. Underrated, a lot of people.
Yeah, as always.
You touched on there. Do you feel that you should be spoken about more for this World Championship and what you've achieved this year than other people that are being spoken about?
You know what, Phil? I really do not care anymore. I do my thing. I don't care about Premier League conversation. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. I've gave up. I perform on the hockey. I perform. I love my fans. I give everything back to my fans. I do so much for charity. I do everything I can to be a good sportsman, and you still get. So you know what? I don't care. Say what you want. I'm here to play darts, win money for my family, and I don't really care. So.
Congratulations. As you mentioned earlier, it's been a really, really good
year
for yourself. Do you feel like the form going into the World Championships is as good as it's ever been?
Never been better. Never been better. And like I touched on before, I've got no injuries. I've got nothing to complain about. I'm not stopping every 2 minutes trying to find a throw. I'm going up there with trying to go up there with a smile on my face. You know, the crowd enjoyed that tonight. But I didn't. But I'm in the best form I can possibly be in. And you know, I said it in all my pre-match interviews and prior to that. I feel like I'm going to win it. And I know everyone said it. You know, even Peter Wright said it. But I mean, I know everyone's saying it. But I generally, I feel I'm going to have a good run. You know, let's be realistic. I feel like I'm going to have a good run, and that's purely down to my confidence that I've got in my own ability. I know what I've been doing the last 3 weeks. I know what I've been doing at my house on the practice board. I thought I was going to do it tonight on the stage. I didn't. The pressure got to me. But I'm through. So next game I can relax, and I think there'll be a big, big performance on Monday.
Have you ever had that feeling going into a World Championship?
Never. I've had this feeling before, and again, it's easy me sat here saying it. I won the match play. It's easy for me to say it now because, oh yeah, but generally I've not felt like this for a couple of years, and yeah, you know, talk's cheap, you got to go and do it, but I think I'm going to do it, or do well. I don't want to, yeah.
Nathan, well done on that victory. You said that you're going to go back and evaluate the performance. As a dart player, what does that involve? Do you watch the game back and look at how you can do better? Do you talk with the people around you? How does that process work?
So I'll phone Kirsty up when I get back, and I'll go, was that thought? And then she'll be as honest and say, it was this, that and the other. And I'll go, right, cheers babe, I'll speak to you tomorrow. That's my evaluation of the game. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to sit there and watch it. I'm not that guy. You know, Kirsty is like she's my number two. Any decision I make in life, anything about darts and all that, and I'm not just saying this because we're getting married, but now I will phone her up and she'll be as honest as anyone, and she'll say, yeah, this, blah, 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 and I'll go, right, thanks, and then I'll process that, and that'll be the end of it.
This headspace that you're in,
she's going to want pain soon, isn't she, actually, thinking about that.
The headspace that you're in, you know, you said that you feel like you're going to win the World Championship. Why do you feel this way now compared to other years? Because this seems like mentally the best that you've been in since I've been speaking to you. Really.
Yeah, I think if you sit here and don't say you're going to win the World Championship, what are you doing here? So obviously there's a lot of players that have been saying it. I was joking about Peter, but you know, he generally does believe he can win it, and fair play. If you don't think you can win the World Championship, what are you doing playing in it? So it's not arrogance, it's not cocky, you have to believe that. And I believe I will win the World Championship. Whether I do or not is another matter. Why do I feel like that? Why am I this confident? Because I'm playing with freedom now. You know, 2 years ago, I didn't think I was ever going to play darts at this level again. Then I get in the Premier League, then I make the semi-finals of the Premier League. Then I go to New York and make the final, then I win 3 Euro Tours. I've come from the brink of absolutely bottom to back playing. I'm back in the top 12 in the world at the moment. Have you seen what I'm defending next year? Absolute. I didn't even realise until I was on the train coming down. You know, I know next year and this World Championship's a big year for me. And you know, after everything I've been through, the confidence, I'm playing darts without an injury, without dartitis. My mental state is good because it was an absolute shambles 12 months ago. What is it not to be confident and happy about? Do you see what I mean? And yeah, I'm going to lose games of darts, but I don't worry about them anymore.
Nathan, well done today.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Nathan. You mentioned about the mentality. Have you done anything differently, or what has sort of the main sole reason behind you changing mentality?
I'm doing a lot of work away from the hockey. A lot of work. I'm doing hypnotherapy twice a week. I've got a sports psychologist that I speak to every 2 weeks. I do my running. I do so much away from the hockey to get if I don't do that, my data is back. My injuries are back. I have to work so much. You know, it's not hard. I'm not a footballer. I'm not a golfer. I'm not a rugby player. I'm not having to train hard, but I'm training my mind so hard because I have to. And I think, I'm not naming names or anything, but I think you see in this tournament straight away, there's so many people that can follow my footsteps in what I've done. And I hope that they look at what I've done and seek help themselves, because this game isn't about your ability. It's not about how good you are at darts. It's about in between here, because this game is the most mentally challenging game in the world. I don't care what anyone says. There's nothing more mentally challenging than playing darts on a stage for a lot of money. And I'm working really hard away from the hockey, and I'm reaping the rewards.
Do you think that, you know, if you ever do go for a stage where your mental health does decline, do you feel like you'll learn from the experiences you've had sort of this year?
I don't think I'd let it do that again. Mm-hmm. I've been in that situation and it is brutal. It's tough. It's horrible. I think I've trained my brain and I've done a lot of work with a lot of people. The people that I work with won't let it get to that state. There's a lot of it going on in darts at the moment, and you know what? I see it before they see it because I've been through it, and I feel sorry for them. And you know, the PDPA now need to step in and help these guys, because there's a lot of guys suffering. There's never been more pressure on dart players. We're not dart players anymore. We are. I hate saying it, but so many people look up to us nowadays. There's so much pressure on us, and it's gone from the dart players in the pub drinking and making a few quid. We are elite sportsmen, and there's so much pressure on people, and that can affect you. It affected me, and I see it firsthand so many times with so many people, and I'm just hoping now that, you know, certainly there's 2 or 3 people, I'm not going to name them, but, you know, I just hope that the PDPA reach out to them and look after them, because there's a lot of fantastic dart players in our sport, but it'd be a shame to see so many of them go because of mental health.